Hello, everyone, and good evening. Well, normally I would be going live at 7 o'clock in the morning during the week, 8 a.m. on the weekends, but today was a very special day, and I was not going to go to sleep before I went live to stick to my commitment of being live every single day for 30 days. So here we are. It's 6:15 in the evening, coming back from a very long day, but I'm very excited to actually share with you what happened today and the topic of stewarding opportunities. How many of us take opportunities and really try to like wring out as much as possible? How many? How many of us? Like, truthfully, so many opportunities come and we're just like, oh, the next one, oh, the next one. Well, I had an opportunity that came. And if you've been following today, as I'm sharing this on the 28th of September, I had a very interesting opportunity with a friend that actually showed me a lot. So if you're seeing this live or you're watching this on video, I'm looking extra scrubby right now because I actually haven't had a chance to shower since going through a fitness test with the Anaheim Police Department. Yes, you heard that right. Let me explain. A friend of mine was like, hey, I want to do something. It's a little bit different. I want to put my fitness to the test. And the Anaheim Police Department was putting a free fitness test together of just testing your skills. Now, what people got into this for is because they wanted some heads up, some training to get into the police academy. So when my friend asked me, I was like, okay, sure. Why not? Put my fitness to the test. I work out all the time. Let's see where this matches up. Well, come to find out later, she actually wants to apply as an investigator to the police department. So she probably won't have to go through this test. But he said, you know what? Let's go do it. And I will tell you this, when I made the commitment, I had a lot of reasons pop up. You know what? Maybe I don't want to. I don't want to get hurt. What is this for? I can use time elsewhere, right? Like all these things that popped up. But I stuck to my word. So we went there at 7 a.m. It started. And as I was sitting there in the room full of, it was women only at this particular event that were all essentially wanting to get a job as a police officer. Now, just to make it really clear, I do not, do not want to get a job as a police officer. I said yes to support my friend. But I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this. So I was very observant, very open. And here's a couple things that I wanted to share when it comes to stewarding opportunities. I had no idea what was going to come from today. Honestly, my goal was don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. I'm going to tell you a funny story at the very end of this day that I'm like, man, I almost could have gotten really, really hurt, but I was protected. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you that in a second. But as I was going through this and I'm listening to these police officers that are sharing what's expected, what's coming up, they were super supportive. They had great leadership. Their whole goal was, I want to be able to help you do the best that you can when you come and actually take this test for real to become an officer. They actually, I mean, if I wanted to do a regular old job, I was like, wow, the way you painted this and this department spent so much time in its people, in its education for the people, that I was just taken back. I was complimenting each and every officer, like, you guys did a great job. I'm in the line of leadership. That's what I get to do for a living. Like, we really focus on leadership, leadership development, personal professional development. So I really admire what you're doing here. So here are the things that we had to go through today. You guys are going to find this wild. We had to scale a 6 foot wall, hit an obstacle course afterwards. We had to run a mile. And they say if you do it under 7 minutes, then you'll get top points. We had to run 440 yards in a dead sprint. We had to drag a dummy, which was a simulator of a body. And they said if you do it under 5 seconds or under, you get max points. A certain amount of push-ups in 2 minutes. And what am I missing here? I know I'm missing something. There was probably something else in there. But anyways, your girl does not do cardio. But and I say this humbly, I came in first in every single aspect. I got over the wall, did the obstacle course, and I think one of the top times. I actually, when it came to dragging the dummy, I got it in 5 seconds. When it came to running the mile, I think I got one of the fastest times, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Didn't get in under 7. I got in 8 minutes. What else? Then we had to do sprints right after this mile. And they said if you get it under a minute, 29 seconds, you'll get max points. Did it a minute 23. Push-ups, you had to do 35 within 2 minutes. I got 38. What else? It was just very interesting of really putting it to the test. And I say all that humbly because in my mind, I want to break this down for you. I had many moments of like, you don't need to go as hard at this. When we came to doing the sprint, before that, we had to run a mile. Before that, we had to scale the 6 foot wall, which is probably one of the harder things of like scale the wall, jump over, and back on the other side. That's one of the hardest things, especially for women. And we had to do all that back to back to back. So when it came to the sprint, some of these women took off in front of me and I was in third place. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. You don't need to be first. You don't need to be first. That was what I was telling myself. And then because I was steady the whole time, I ended up beating everybody because I didn't sprint and use all the gas in the beginning. I was steady the whole time to pace myself and then hit the gas at the end. Here's what I learned with that. Number one, I was talking myself out of doing this in excellence. And I said, none of that. We're not doing that. We're going to finish this the best way we know how. And we did. And we came out on top. And again, I say that humbly, but I was really battling mentally because I was gassed at that point. I was tired. Number two, how Molly used to be. This might be for somebody. If anybody's like me, super competitive, they didn't keep points, they didn't keep places. Like I wish they did. The competitor in me wanted to hear all that. But that only strokes the ego, right? Like I know I gave it my all and it showed because I always love to lead in excellence. And a lot of the running events, and I don't do cardio, you guys, I just don't. A lot of these running events that I had to do today at this fitness test for the Anaheim Police Department, for those that are just joining us, I'm talking about my experience in that. And I did it to support a friend. I'm not going into the police force. But what I saw was the old Molly would have like gassed it on the front to look good. But what Molly now does is steady, consistent pace. And at the end, give it everything that you got. And because I did that, it came out on top every single time. That is a new development that I did not know in myself because I don't do fitness competitions. I don't do competing in classes. I just don't. I work out because I love it for myself and that's it. But this going into the Anaheim Police Department, this free fitness test, I was like, let's really put it to the test. So my friend and I were actually pretty fit people and we came out on top. And at the end, they came to us and they're like, please tell me y'all applied. And I was like, well, I'm actually here to support her, but this is what she wants to do. And they're like, so what do you do? So I shared with them what we do inside Kingdom Alliance. And they're like, well, if the door ever opens that you want another job, like we would gladly have you. And I get it. They're always looking for strong females, right? Discipline, strong, physically, mentally, emotionally, because God bless our law enforcement. They go through the ringer. They really do. Me being able to see this whole experience from that lens of the leadership they had, the investment in training and their people, how supportive they were, how kind they were. Like the news paints law enforcement out to be like pigs and evil. And like they hate everybody and they're going to shoot minorities. Like that's what the news does. Stop listening to the news. From somebody who's a former news anchor and reporter, like a lot of it is rigged and a lot of it is trash. And I shook every single one of those officers' hands. Thank you so much for your time and your leadership. I learned a lot. Thank you for everything that you're doing here, for keeping the city safe, for setting the example. And Anaheim Police Department is actually one of the top police departments in the state, and I think probably in the country that people come to. They said 70% of their field are people who make lateral moves from other departments, other police departments in other cities, I should say, or states. That says a lot about what they do. So let me sum this up for you. I got invited to do this fitness test at a police department. I was there to support a friend, not to make a career change. I'm going to keep reiterating that. And I was so open. What do you want me to learn here? And here's a couple things. I saw leadership in the public sector that was very refreshing to see. I gave my excellence and everything, slow and steady, did win the race. And then in the midst of it all, high-fiving, encouraging, you got this girl in an environment where I'm sure these women are only in environments that are toxic of, I got to step on you to get up. And I was like, no, you don't. You absolutely don't. Give them encouraging words, spur them on. Like there was a point where I was running and I think I was lapping somebody else and that started at a different time. And I turned around, I was like, you got this. Let's go. Keep going. When people are trying to get over the 6 foot wall, because it actually is really hard. It was hard. You had to get a good running start, but then pull yourself up. I was like, for people that were doing it time and time again, I was like, keep going. Good job. Don't give up. Like, people need like words of affirmation. They need words of encouragement. I learned so much today. I know my body's going to be a little sore. And then here's the kicker. So I've been out all day, still sweaty, still gross, nasty. I got to take a shower after this. I went with my friend. We had a really great conversation over breakfast, really diving in deep to so many things, catching up. It was amazing. We went to her parents' house because her little boys wanted to go swimming. And after we come out, I did not get injured today, mind you. I told you the number one thing I wanted from today was to not get hurt. It's not worth it. The older you get, the harder it is to recover. The day's ending. I'm going home. I'm walking out of her parents' house, and I there was 2 steps, and I didn't see the second one. Tell me why. Your girl went off that first step, didn't see the second one. My ankle looked like it was about ready to snap. It looked like my whole body was about ready just to like crash and crack on the pavement. It was like slow motion. I fell, and luckily my shoulder meat in my like booty and my side of my leg broke my fall. And I spent the whole day making sure I would not get hurt. And I should have gotten hurt when I fell off that step. They thought I almost broke my ankle, hurt my knee, smacked my head. None of that happened. It was literally like I almost fell on soft pillows, i.e., being my muscles. I was so close. And now I'm like, you know what? I'll probably feel that tomorrow. I'm sure I'm going to be a little sore from all the things from today. And so I spent so long today making sure I didn't get hurt. And at the end, I almost like freaking wrecked it all. Like missing a step and falling. Like I literally fell. And all of a sudden I'm like looking up and I'm like, why are you guys standing over me? What just happened? I literally ate it off their front steps. And here I am. I got like a little scuffle here, but I'm good. I should have cracked a lot of things and broken things, but I didn't. My ankle didn't roll. It was strong. My knee didn't get hurt. I landed on some, muscle meat. Thank you, Lord. Hilarious to me. Hilarious. But back to stewarding opportunities. I'm sharing all the stories with you because yes, God's protection, Molly, 100%, 100% protection from injury. I'm sharing this story with you because there's so many reasons why I didn't need to go through this fitness test. But when you say yes to an opportunity that comes your way, even if it doesn't make sense, be open to what you can learn. I learned so much today about myself, other people, the public sector of law enforcement that nobody will see. If there was a camera crew in there filming what these people were saying, pouring into us, and what they were doing to prep people for free on their day off, that's what people need to see. Not the like horrible shooting that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. I don't have to reiterate it. I didn't have to go, but I knew there was so much to learn. And then the time that I had with my friend was amazing. So this is why I'm doing this, like literally almost 12 hours later than normal, a little less than 12 hours, 10 hours later. But I knew something good would come out of it. And so I wanted to wait. Plus I didn't have time because we started that at like 7 a.m. And I'm sharing all this with you because so many of us let opportunities slide by. We don't actually realize there's something there for us or for other people because we're like, no. Now, I prayed on it. I was like, should I do this? Should I not? And it was like, yeah, it's a go. It's a go. And I was flattered at the end of it. They're like, please tell me you're applying. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, this is what I do. And I love what I do. I'm unhireable. But I wish you guys all the best. And I hope you find those candidates you're looking for because I know you want excellence. I get it. I demand excellence of myself because Jesus didn't die for anything less. If we don't give our excellence to the things that we are meant to steward, hence this entire series, what are we doing? We're not stewarding the life we've been given, the opportunities we've been given, the gifts we've been given. I mean, we've been talking about this the whole time. The whole time. When I fell off that step, I was like, well, thank you, Lord, my ankle's strong. Thank you, Lord, I got muscle meat that I could fall on that felt like pillows. Like I could have been severely hurt. They were like, oh my gosh, she's going to break something. And I was like, what did my face look like? Did my phone screen crack when I fell? Like, what happened? They were like, are you kidding me? Like, that's what you're asking? And I'm like, yes. And I'm sure I'll feel it tomorrow. I will. Mid-30s, like you start feeling some things. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm about ready to take a hot shower and wash off the day, but day accomplished on so many fronts. Because I said yes to an opportunity that I could have easily said no to. Because I'm like, no, it's not really like where I'm at right now. But I was like, I'll support a friend who wanted a friend there. Then after that, we had amazing conversations talking about really deep and important things. So needed. Like, you never know what a yes can lead to. If it's supposed to be a yes. Of course, you got to pray about it. And it was for me. Didn't really make sense, but I went there anyways. So I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. Opportunities come and they may not make sense, but you're supposed to say, yes, do it. Be open to what's next. Ask, what should I be seeing? What should I be paying attention to? So often we just want to stick with what's comfortable. And on Saturdays, you know what I like to do? I like to be at home, a homebody, rest, rejuvenate, eat. Like, I like to do nothing on Saturdays if possible to recoup for the week. And today was anything but that, but it was so worth it. So worth it. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I hope that you're maybe asking yourself, are there opportunities that I should have said yes to? Are there ones maybe right now that you should, but you're like, oh, I'm not sure? Like, I'm talking about the yes opportunities. I mean, earlier in these past couple of days, we talked about saying no and creating boundaries. Like, that's important. But there's ones that we need to say yes to that we might be saying no to because we're like, I don't know what's going to happen. None of us know what's going to happen. Like, I had a goal of not getting hurt and I accomplished that. But I said, you know what? Just be smart. Be smart and listen to your body, right? Be smart. So I hope this helps somebody today. I'm glad we came on here. We made it done. Check. I wanted to be a good steward of me and my words. I'm going to be live for 30 straight days. So here we are, almost like 10 hours later than normal, but we're doing it. We get to honor our commitments. We get to steward our commitments as well. So if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. Love to hear what you're picking up. Love to hear if they're like, you know what? This helped me make a decision that I do need to say yes to this opportunity. Like, share what you're learning or share this with somebody because somebody needs to hear this. I know it. The whole reason for this live thing isn't for me to hear myself. It's for me to impart wisdom and knowledge that's been given to me to go serve you and other people. That's what it's about. Your story is always so much bigger than you. So with that, I hope you all have an amazing evening. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you tomorrow for day 28. Good night, everybody.